New Zealanders.
Mr. Chair.
Honourable Jonathan Coleman.
Well, Mr. Chair, I think it's quite clear that one of the reasons the last government was thrown out of office was because the public no longer trusted them to manage the health service. And that's absolutely true. That is what happened because over 9 years that government failed to deliver elective surgery. They failed to make a difference overall to the service provision for New Zealanders, and they were found out. You know, it's very interesting. That member's just got up and talked about the new language of the health sector. Well, I've got a document here that is a document published under the last Labour government which talks about programs reprioritised during the Vote Health October 2008 reprioritisation. Of course, that wasn't a cut. It was a reprioritisation. So when they took $10 million off the interim funding pool for people with disabling chronic medical conditions, oh no, that wasn't a cut. That was a reprioritisation. So I think it's very, very difficult for this member here to speak with any credibility in this House on matters of health when she is so badly cut out. She says they didn't cut services. They took now this member here wants to talk about immigration. They've had a lot enough of help. It's got too hot for them. So look, quite frankly, there is no credibility. Now she brings up the old people of Invercargill. Well, look, we've inherited a massive problem left behind by that last government. And we've put in a lot of new money into Otago and Southland, $28 million. But the fact is, because of that government's mismanagement, we are in a situation where we've got to make some real changes. But this is not a new problem, because I can tell you, when Minister Hodgson was faced with this very issue back in 2006, I note that he took pretty similar action, and he wrote at that time to Chester Borrows when he was faced with making changes to household management services for 304 elderly people in Wanganui DHB. And Peter Hodgson wrote back to Chester Borrows and said, DHBs are expected to provide services within the limits of their budgets. Whanganui DHB, as well as other DHBs, must prioritise which services to fund. As a consequence, 304 people assessed as low need will no longer receive household management services funded by Whanganui DHB. So this is exactly what the last government did. Apparently it was absolutely... See, she's saying now I'm not telling the truth. You can't get any more truthful than this letter from Pete Hodgson. She's having to resort to unparliamentary language because that member there, Ruth Dyson, has been completely sought out. She has to get personal on this stuff. She's got no credibility on health. They had 9 years to handle it. They have failed. So if all you can come in here at question time or in the debate and say, oh, you guys are doing exactly what we did, but now it's a cut. When we did it, it was a reprioritisation. No wonder they lost the last election. I think personally they need new people here. They need a new health spokesman. They need to clear some... He has to go as well.
Point of order. Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Mr. Chairman, it's a relatively simple point of order. This is I understand, a narrow debate, unless there's been a reinterpretation of it, to talk about things, general political issues, not related. I think I've been in the House for probably 3 minutes without reference to a particular item under review. Seems to me, sir, to be outside certainly what used to be allowed in this. If we're allowed to have something very general, the opposition would support that, and if that is the new ruling, I think from here on in, I'm not entirely sure that the Minister of Education would support it though.
Order. Well, in response to that, I think it is a somewhat difficult issue for me to contain everybody into exactly the realms, but I think by and large the debate has been pretty much on track. Whilst the Minister didn't often refer to the financial reviews regarding health, he did spend some time responding to some comments that were made by the Honourable Ruth Dyson. But I think it's a timely reminder, and I wish that we could keep this debate tightly constrained, but both sides have somewhat erred about, well, more than sides, the spectrum of the House has been involved in, but it's a timely reminder. Honourable Jonathan Common.
Of course, it is an old technique that if you're losing the debate, you try and break it up. But look, we're used to that sort of thing. And that's a member that should be leaving as well. And anyway, if you'd like to discuss the financial review aspects, see, getting personal. They're losing. These guys are losing. They're losing with the public. They're losing in the House. Mr Mallard, he's another who should definitely be going. But we're quite happy to have him here because the more he talks, the better it gets for us. But look, $536 million of new money going into health. There's more money going into health than ever before. There's more elective surgery being done. There is. You can't deny it. We have put more money into health than any other government has in the past. And we are delivering the services. 12 months per septum, more elective surgery done than ever before. Quite frankly, the public wanted a focus on the services that they need, and they're getting it. And the public are happy because the big reason this government was elected was to manage the economy, to make people feel safer at home, and to get the health service right, and of course to deliver on national standards and education. We've made some promises. We're firmly delivering on it. Now, when you look at what else has happened, we've firmly tackled the workforce crisis. That is probably the biggest single aspect of the healthcare system that needs fixing. We're making more places available. We've introduced the voluntary bonding scheme. We are focusing on getting the money directed to the services that the public need, and that is going to be our overwhelming emphasis. Mr Chair.
Honourable Winnie Laban.
Yeah,